This call
Good.
is being recorded.
Thank you for calling in.
Thanks for
And
having me.
I see you got the natal chart reading. Honestly, I was so glad to see you were an Aquarius. That's so awesome. And
Thanks.
dude, your chart right off the bat is already super badass. Trust me. I'm
Cool.
biased. As an air sign, I actually look up to Aquarius because it's my 10th house. So like I'm always excited when I see like especially the 91, 92, 93. Because right off the bat,
Oh,
I'm gonna start this reading just by letting you know you're one of us, bro. You're alien gang. You have an alien. It's funny too because if you're an Aquarius, like you're automatically alien gang, but like out of the alien constructs, you actually have an alien construct. You have Saturn on your sun, which is one of the strongest alien constructs you can have. The 90s bring in and when I'm gonna give you this article about alien constructs, but this has a lot to do with, of course, the outer planets, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto on the sun, moon, and rising. And so the strongest zodiac sign is Aquarius. So to see you coming through your Saturn return represents the cosmic authority as high nobility, high king, Aquarius, sun, the spirit of the high king that gives you not only as every Aquarius does cosmic awareness, especially with the sun, but Saturn literally gives you cosmic authority. And this is what you're returning.
hmm.
Especially being born 93, us as Pluto Scorpio, we're the I hate to say like apocalypse babies because that's the babies born now. But
Hmm.
mainly we're paving the way to the new world. So like with this collective karmic authority, you decided to come into legitimate authority over the collective, especially coming into this new age of Aquarius. This now gives you authority over really being aware of the sociological impetus and effect of the literal collective around you. It's cooler because your sun is here. So this, if you think Tinashe has this, and she's super successful. This is the world card in a tarot. It's literally giving you this grand Saturnian power, but in the form of cosmic energy and strength. So it's amazing that 2022 is going to be where you return and complete this, because moving forward, this is you over the next 30 years using this strength and quality to, of course, accomplish your karmic lesson. And of course, I always like to say Saturn and Aqua, y'all got the short end of the stick because y'all got the square to Pluto. That is so harsh. It makes you the strongest out of all of us in the 90s. But like Jesus, that
Hmm.
I like to
Can
think that. And please
I say something real quick?
I was about to say, don't hesitate to interrupt me at any point if there's anything you want to say.
Okay. I I don't know the natal chart very well. I probably only brought it up twice for myself, and like just trying to decipher it myself is like almost impossible. So I have like my chart in front of me, but like I have no idea like what the symbols mean and what the sun and moon all that stuff means. I'm just listening to you talk, and it's resonating, but
And yeah, please don't hesitate to ask any questions. If you want clarification, we could just start from scratch then. We know you got the rising, the sun, the moon. Your rising is in Libra, which makes you an artist. And the article that I shared doesn't have anything about Jupiter, but that counts as an alien construct too, because now this speaks of the contagious personality you have socially as an individual collective, which is ironic because I'm a collective individual in the sense that my moon's in a collective sign, my sun's in an individual sign, but your moon's in an individual sign of Taurus and your sun's in a collective, legitimate high nobility of Aquarius. And so
Mhm.
this is really cool because now your personality is social as an artist that takes this authority and ventures socially into connecting and bridging and communicating with other people. But Jupiter here in the first expands so much of your contagious personality. It expands how powerful your personality is and identity. And remember, especially as an artist, like every Libra rising I've met is seriously talented. Oh, and this is cool because
Wow.
your son's in the fifth house of extraordinary talent. So like you're literally here to just lead humanity forth with your creation. You're literally talented at writing, narration, communication, but Saturn here means you're literally a god of this shit, bro. So like you're literally it's
Oh
dope.
gosh.
Look at that. That's it.
I
And
when I was a kid growing up, I've always had like a knack for writing and like painting a picture for people in their minds. Very natural that comes to me. but it just seems like in the last like 5 years, I've been so reclusive and to myself and like untrusting of others. And I saw your little like Scorpio vid you did like, about 2 weeks ago. We did the tarot readings,
Yeah.
and I think it was like a couple days after that. Um, I had this like almost, God, it sounds corny to say, but like a spiritual awakening of some kind, where um, you know, and I'll back up a little bit to say at the beginning of 21, I don't know what made me think this or say this to friends, but I kind of called this year like the year of like self-actualization,
Nice.
and it was like an instinct of mine. And just it must have been a week or two ago, like where I think I finally like stepped into that a little bit.
Oh, dude.
And I guess what you're saying now is like it's going to take me 30 years to master or understand what that means.
Yeah, but here's the most important part, and I love what you said because it's going to take you 30 years to really actualize this, and but it's taken 30 years for you to return this ability. So you don't have to wait 30 years to harness it. That's what you're doing right now, right? But it's
Mm-hmm.
important to acknowledge that, giving your journey, um, the whole purpose of a Saturn return is that the fullness. I like to think of it as an anime trope. Like in those television shows or animes where like some old enemy resurrects and it's like in their olden days they were so fearsome, but now it's like, oh, they're
Oh,
they're
they're
just
calm and smooth like water.
right. It's like they're a relic of their old self, but then it's like they do something and they regain their full power that they used to have. And it's like,
Oh,
oh,
wow.
that's the Saturn return. It's like, oh, you're literally a baby, right? And so you
Mm-hmm.
compress all of your data. And then for 30 years, it's a decompression. And then once you step into the Saturn return, all your full strength is returned. The past life lessons you brought into here, you've established. And so the next 30 years is you taking your full strength to accomplish your destiny. And what are the odds? Because your south node is exactly on my sun. I'm 20 degrees Gemini,
Mm.
so I was a part of your past life. And my north node 8 degrees Aquarius. So I kind of have that connection with 93 Aquas, which is really dope. So personally, once again, knowing this, it's like you're using the resources of the ascended truth you came into this life with, this philosophy that as a representative of balance and justice, in order to speak up about the supernatural understanding of magic or just life. Third house north nodes means you're supposed to really communicate what's important as far as in Sagittarius, the meaning of experiences you see, and as an Aquarius, where this belongs in your life and what kind of friends you attract. But I love that you said trust because you have Taurus in the eighth house. And with your moon there, your soul lets you know that there's little to no one in this world that's trustworthy. And that's a really big clash as a social collective.
I
Uh,
hate that.
yeah, it sucks because it's like you genuinely want to get to know people. Like it's not like you're some introverted hermit that hates people. It's just your moon in Taurus is like, you're funny. Like I'm not trusting this thing. And it's not even like you're afraid to trust. It's that your soul can literally feel how pure people's intent is, especially with Pluto opposite it. You're gonna feel more often than not, even people who mean well, doesn't make them trustworthy. And so, the Taurus part will close people out. And here's the thing you have to trust that. You have to trust that. It's going to, of course, attract a rare few who stand on solid values that are trustworthy because not everyone
Well,
here.
it's gonna have me be attracted to them because my whole life I felt like I've been very easy to connect with others and make friends. But on my side, it's like not fully there with them.
And you don't necessarily want to beat yourself up for that because this is more than just a protection mechanism. It's also an aspect of how psychic you are. So, as an artist, this gives you the vibration of natural knowledge, right? The
Mm.
natural celestial king. We have to remember now with Saturn, who's the Titan king, unlike most other Aquarians, this adds such a powerful royal nature to your spirit. And so, with Mercury and Saturn here, you have one of the strongest minds, especially with Jupiter that trines it. So the moon in Taurus juxtaposes this natural receptivity to natural energy around you as you creatively express and command with Saturn, this cosmic energy. So you got the sauce because Scorpio is the sauce and you have second house. So this is
Mhm.
important because your value is pure. You have pure royal value. It means that coming up to the Saturn return, you may have waxed and waned from being extremely purely confident in yourself to extremely unconfident. But thankfully, this
Yes.
is stabilizing because you have pure value here, which means basically there's the second house Taurus, which is manifesting like $1 million in diamonds and money. But then there's second house Scorpio. That's maybe like having a $5 labradorite crystal, but a $5 labradorite crystal bracelet, but the energy in that bracelet is far worth more than like millions of dollars. And like that now starts to be a bit controversial because Scorpio is mysterious in that not anyone can know its worth on surface value, especially if you're just, materially based.
Right.
You literally have the ability to manifest pure extreme energy at will.
Mhm.
And this is what intensifies the cosmic energy that you receive from natural energy. I'm just really making this profile
So
of the energy you
can I break
represent.
that down a little bit then?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, so you're telling me, with second house Scorpio, on the surface, with me doing nothing, I don't look like anybody. It's going to take an inner, like, unleash of energy to really show what that second house Scorpio means.
Oh no, that's a really good question. I wouldn't even say that because you do have a Taurus moon. So I would like to say you have the best of both worlds. Like if you wanted to floss, you could. I just wanted to show you what Scorpio second means. It's more an intrinsic energetic value. We think just pure energy. This is pure energy. It's also wisdom. It's also the wisdom you manifest. Basically, the second house is how you make money. So you paid me so we could talk. That's because
Mhm.
I'm an individual Taurus rising and my second house is an individual Gemini. So I work with people one on one with my son there, right?
Mhm.
I talk to people one on one and I get paid so that I can produce second house enlightenment because I
Yeah.
have enlightenment, but it's individual. You have the social Libra and the social Scorpio. So your income potential is now that much higher because whereas I deal with people one on one, you deal with people more socially in a collective sense. So you can manifest this extreme sense of wisdom for like maybe in a blog or maybe through a song and it's going to reach that much more people. It's just if we think about Scorpio as the sauce, Scorpio, yeah, is the sauce, but Pluto is the sauce master. So it's like you don't have to outsource the sauce. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, the sauce master is
I
in.
generate that sauce. I'm a chef.
Oh, no way, for real?
Wait, what? Say it again.
You're really a chef?
No, no.
Okay, but
But I'm
okay,
like saying, from your analogy, like I cook the sauce.
yeah, that's awesome, and I love that. You chef's kiss. And it's cool because once again, like it speaks to everything you manifest being so pure, like extremely pure. And this also represents the wisdom you can come into. Now, because your sun's in the fifth, the way you'll express this may not be directly at the Scorpio. It's going to be more detached and creatively expressed through Aquarius, taking that wisdom and intensifying it, which is a clash because Leo and Aquarius are going to go through this born in the 90s, Scorpio and Taurus too, jealousy. The Pluto square to your sun is this uncharacteristic, irrational sense of jealousy or obsession, where people will just either be obsessed with you, or if they're not in a position to admit that, they're going to be jealous or envious. It happens a lot more to Leo. And we see of Chiron opposite this in Leo. And so this is healing this, too cool for school approach that may consider others around you collectively as squares and oppositions are outside influences and oppositions in a certain sense. So if we take Chiron and Leo, which is this healing of how courageous you can express your talent, because the fifth house is your cosmic um and extraordinary talents. And the 11th house is the audience. It's how, courageous and passionate this will cause others to feel. So you can heal groups of people. This is great for public speaking. It's just you may also be healing courage to express yourself like that, especially Saturn. If you yourself are so hard on yourself that you don't allow yourself to inhibit how creatively
Hmm.
you can express, this is actually super strong with Pluto here. But on the downside, it could be very crippling. But this is everything the Saturn return is going to have you overcome. So that's a good thing.
Do you know a lot about numerology?
You know what? I'm a beginner. I'm a little bit intermediate. I know the life paths and I
Yep.
know a little bit, but I'm learning more about it.
You know the like so there's like the light side and the dark side to the life path.
Oh, you know, I didn't know that. I mean, I've
Okay, so
heard the negatives, but I never really looked at it like that. So that's awesome.
so I want to continue on with the natal chart, but I want to talk about this really quick then. I did I went down a numerology rabbit hole last summer, and I found out I'm a life path 7, which tells me that I'm the truth seeker. Um, and so like my whole life destiny, apparently because of the 7, is I'm looking for some like hidden inner truth in like whatever I'm passionate about, or just my main line of life, I guess. The drawback of that is that my biggest challenge in life is the risk of feeling betrayed. And so, and I've always felt this my entire life, that trust has been like the biggest obstacle to everything. Either trust in myself or trust in my family, friends, whoever else. And with the Saturn rising that you're talking about, um, again, this is like 2 weeks ago, like I mentioned at first. I have, for the first time in maybe 5 or 6 years, have like washed all of that anxiety away. And it's not that I feel like consciously confident or trustworthy in myself. It's just like not even an issue anymore. Like it's not even a thing I focus on anymore. Um, and what you're saying about feeling confident of letting my inner wisdom out, and helping groups of people. um I see it. I see it soon, actually. I really appreciate this call.
What was the last thing you said?
The very last thing,
Yeah.
that I appreciate this call.
No, right before that.
um uh I forgot.
Well, I know you did
um
mention about trust, which I think is very important too, as far as how that gets in the way. And that's everything that the North Node coming into um how do I say it?
so my north node looks like it's in between Gemini and Cancer.
You mean Gemini and Sagittarius?
Is that Sag? Okay.
Yeah, the opposite sign. But the South Node is gonna go over your Pluto soon because the North Node is gonna go into Taurus, and that's what's
Mm.
gonna revisit this trust. It's everything you're breaking through right now. And I just want to let you know this issue of trust is less your it's nothing, it's less to do with you and more to do with just how much integrity you have. It's the consequence of greatness, my friend, because maintaining this level of strength, which you're getting ready to unlock for the first time, is a lot. Once again, the Saturn power alien, you can manifest from the heart, create sacred forms and altars, turn time backwards and forward, create successful empires, lead humanity into the new age, which is ironic because we're entering into the new age of Aquarius, and then also manifest
100%.
anything into a three-dimensional reality. Oh yeah, bro. And not only that, once again, this your moon is in the eighth house. Is a difficult position for the eighth, especially in Taurus, where this is dealing and being trusted with other people's material resources, and that can leave one susceptible for theft as well. But it's also great for investing in a lot of money, and that's what's going to open up for you. So really, this extreme purity you manifest has your soul extend out to be once again receptive to who's trustworthy enough to invest in. But this is going to have you draw super strong boundaries And with Uranus here, this is going to frustrate how much more unconventional this whole process is. And so the key here is don't really have too many expectations, really. If you allow people to exceed them by having none, that'll really be the thing. But once you
Hmm.
finish the Saturn return next year, and then Jupiter is going to go over your sixth house, you got Venus in its exaltation in Pisces, you have Mars in its fall in Cancer, and this makes a small grand water trine. So, the extremeness of your value and what you manifest, because there's also supernatural quality to this too, which adds so much extreme focus to how intensely you manifest. But all of this relates and ties to your divine heart, and that's unconditionally loving, and the incorporation of the imagination of your heart with your lifestyle, which as an Aquarius you're aware of is how you manifest this magic in your imagination. And then all of that ties to Cancer, which is the psychic power that influences how you move forward, not so much emotionally but definitely psychically, due to any empathy or just tuning into your soul feelings. As
Hmm.
a Libra rising, this puts your 10th house in Cancer, which makes you an individual leader of sincerity. And it kind of makes the world your family. It just flips everything on its head here. So, once again, Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer because Mars is disciplined enough and capped to just do what it wants if it feels like it or not. But in Cancer, you can, if it's out your comfort zone, it's going to be a lot harder to feel like doing. And opposite Uranus and Neptune now adds so much psychic power to your actions, square with Jupiter, because everything that Neptune and Uranus 19 degrees, which is unique to 93, this conjunction in the second decade, which represents the height of psychic power intertwined with this causal realm connection to the mind, which is a fancy way of saying your mind and imagination are connected and grounded through
Wow.
Capricorn. It's supernatural, bro. In fact, this is just awakened. Pluto is sextiling your Pluto. So Mars opposite this is this psychic sense of action based on what you feel other people's body language telling you privately. And there's
So are
nothing.
you telling me right now that uh, my instincts are
Yes,
supernatural,
it's
and
instincts. It's
if
like
I do not trust
instinct.
them, that's the wrong thing to do?
Yes, 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 brother. Yes, this is the most important thing you said, especially because now your moon of trust trines this, so you're gonna feel this on someone's body, and there's nothing linear about this, so it can lend to being gaslighted. It's gonna be hard to just tell someone, "Hey, you're full of shit," because I feel it,
Hmm.
and like thankfully you have the Aquarius, so you're able to express this in a higher knowledgeable way. But like this isn't linear, so like it's exactly as you said. Your instincts are going to be aligned and alerted to this extra dimensional, unconscious sense of aspects of people's body. Like someone can pick their nose, and you're like, "Oh, that person's an untrustworthy serial killer." And
Yeah, right.
you feel me? And someone's gonna be like, "Well, there's no facts for you to be able to claim that." But then you find out you were right. You were completely right.
Yeah.
And that just makes it harder for you to trust people, as it should, because like, especially given how royal, like your soul is royalty, your spirit is royalty. Saturn's literally your bodyguard. Like, if you think of it like a celebrity or like someone who is sought after, they're not
Hmm.
necessarily allowed to trust just anyone either. This is the type of energy
Hmm.
you have. So,
Let
it's,
me ask you,
oh, go ahead.
this when you're saying that I'm so picky to trust people, I mean, you need people in your life, right? I
Yeah.
guess it's more of a question of the distance that they are for me. Where you need people in your life, but if you don't, like, if it's, say, like, I see somebody or meet somebody, and yeah, I don't trust them at all. They're going to be like a 40-yard yardstick away from me. But little things like, yeah, balance your life and let people in closer. But I think the real hurdle is going to be someone that I can really vibe with and be very close with.
Wait, what did you say about people who you can vibe with and get close with?
But it's going to be very hard to meet those types of people where I can let them in, uh, you know, very close to my life.
Yeah, oh yeah. And
And
also you being a celestial will complicate things because you're out this world. So a lot of how you express yourself really is just going to be foreign. It's going to be different. So,
I'm
not
too intense. It's too
not
intense.
not everyone in this world is a piece of shit. And so you're going to really come into that understanding. It's your destiny to really, find or come into this. So you will be able to overcome any issues of trust. You know what I mean? It's just more
Hmm.
so being put in a position to realistically come into your own strength, because you're going to be dealing with others
Right.
more intimately, and that's going to require trusting yourself to deal with untrustworthy or trustworthy people. So regardless, you have the instincts, you have the power, you have this ancestral power. This fourth house energy gives you a hidden understanding of the true integrity of someone's character, even if they never open their mouth. And that's something that you can feel. And so you will overcome these trust issues. And it doesn't mean that people will become any more trustworthy. You're just
Hmm.
going to have so much more strength in your ability to handle these dynamics. And all power to you, because this level of power is it's I mean, according to science, bro, you don't even exist. Like, you only exist in science fiction or like fantasy. So I really appreciate reading charts like this, because you're legitimately pushing forward the advent of consciousness for all of humanity. It's a huge burden, but it's also like all power and success. Once again, if you think Tinashe, if you think Mia Khalifa was also born 93. And
Right.
right. She has Lilith on her sun. So this is why, this lends that type of energy to it.
I'm very happy that Twitter exists because
Oh
I
yeah.
could just write things and just send it out.
In fact, that's true. Twitter, if anything, is an air sign. And even though I think it may not have been born an air sign, it's a social
Uh-huh.
tool. So
Oh,
like,
Twitter is the best social network ever created yet
I've
so
been
far.
sleeping on Twitter. I thought it was Instagram, and then I realized, oh my gosh, everything goes down on Twitter. So I just need to tweet
Yes.
more. Yeah.
Because I used to go to Reddit a whole lot, and it changed like in 2014, so I got out of it.
Oh
But
wow.
Twitter, I get all of my news from Twitter. Um, I get all of my investment ideas and collaboration and community from Twitter.
No way.
Um, Things happen like instantaneously there, so it's really like my escape, and it's awesome. And with crypto, uh, we're going metaverse. So you're talking about new world. You're talking about pushing consciousness.
Yeah.
It's going to
And
be on the
did
metaverse.
Facebook
It's going to
start
be
Meta?
all, huh?
When you say metaverse, do you mean Facebook's Meta? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I mean, so I mean, it's related, of course, but
Okay.
it's not just going to be Facebook. It's going to be, Ready Player One. You're going to put your goggles on and you're going to be in a whole different reality,
Oh, that's so true.
and your money's going to be there. Your culture,
Yep.
like think of the evolution of human culture. It's going to the metaverse. People are gonna. This is what terrifies me: is I don't trust it because it's so easy to throw in the propaganda. Who is creating it? Who is behind it?
Exactly.
And people are going to be flooding into it. They want it so badly because it's going to save them.
Yeah.
Because in the real world, shit's going down.
Yep.
Um, People are getting sick. People are getting fat, sick, lazy. They're losing spiritual awareness. They're losing uh, religion, and they're worshiping the government. And when you go to the metaverse, that's gonna be the entire environment there, unless you can find the correct click in there. Um, so like I see it. It's like bright as day for me. And so that I see it, great. Let's profit off of it. But beyond that, I have a life out here in my community to take care of.
Right.
So
You're literally responsible over the collective community too. So it's very important, because you're awakening more to this. And then Jupiter, I mean, Pluto is going to actually go into Aquarius 2023 and awaken you. So if anything, you know what I mean, like, you definitely, you're on your way. Like, this is all going to unfold naturally. And like, yeah, like this advent into technology is everything we all need. It's just, the people who are behind it are far from trustworthy. And so these are
mhm.
just the new challenges, new levels, new devils that we'll have to go through. But the thing is, your Saturn return is inherently supernatural. So like, This is everything that
Same.
coming into next year, right? Once Jupiter evolves your heart, this is going to it should feel like you're less blind. It should feel like a burden you had your whole life is not only more manageable, but feels less
Yeah.
like a burden and more like a
Yeah.
superpower, which is
I
awesome.
it you know it I feel halfway into like an out of body experience.
Nice.
I felt this way for like 2 weeks, like in my head, but slightly like looking down on me and seeing like the globe under my feet. It the air sign is yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm a is Aquarius an air sign? Yeah, it is.
Aquarius is not only an air sign, it's like the king air sign. It's like the strongest sign.
Yeah, so I feel it in the air, literally.
Right.
So
Yeah, that makes
yeah,
perfect sense. And this is going to really go a long way towards realistically really not just owning up to all this, but being in a position to whoop, 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 there we go. But being in hello, hello. But being in more of a position to just own up to the energy and all that. So, congratulations. Like you finished the first path. You're about to finish chapter 6 next year, which is going to integrate this evolution and mastery of your creativity. When Saturn went through my fifth, I started to realize what I truly love to do. Before that, I didn't really know. Like I had an idea, but you're gonna,
incredible.
evolve your lifestyle and integrate that. And I hate to cut this call short, but I'm gonna send you
No,
this
it's
recording. Did you have any
here. Get
final?
to the recording. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Um, Final thoughts. So I get the recording. You sent me an article or a chart earlier, also.
Okay, so WeTransfer, you're gonna get email from WeTransfer, and it's gonna have all the links to the article and the recording and the picture of your chart.
Okay, awesome. Um, no, sorry if I talk too much.
No, no, no.
This was
You're well encouraged, and it helps me read better too. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
this was I wouldn't say that and this is not a knock on you at all. I wouldn't say that I learned anything, but it's more of a conviction
Or
call.
confirmation.
Yes.
Okay, I have chills because every time I read, the reason why I love reading for Aquarius is because Aquarius is I know it's the only sign that knows anything. So like when Aquarians ask me for readings, I'm like, there's nothing I'm gonna tell you that you don't already know. Like this is so hilarious to me. It's like I'm only giving you confirmation. So I needed to hear you say that. Trust me. It means a lot.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Money well spent. I really appreciate this call a lot. Thanks, Michael.
All right, you stay blessed. I'm gonna send this to you right now.
You too, man. I will talk to you soon, okay?
All right, peace out.
Bye. Peace out. Bye.